Alright, we're over the halfway point here. What I want to do is kind of get any remaining residue off some of these wheels. Yeah, it's really nice to see a huge improvement over them. They look a lot better. Which of course means that you have a cleaner mechanism overall, and therefore it's going to run the best it can. Yeah, really happy with the way that turned out. What's kind of interesting is both of these, of course, are the same exact axle. One just has a gear on it, and the other one has the possibility of putting a gear on it, but I guess they didn't really find it necessary to have just a plain axle without the grooves in it. So yeah, here's the gear. It's pretty filthy in there. I figured this would be a little bit easier to clean. Don't have to worry about that gear. Get a nice overall finish. Yeah, that's really nice. This one is pretty cruddy. Let's go ahead and get started on the outside. Kind of my first real full POV when it comes to doing one of these. Alright, making some nice progress here. I really want to keep this as clean as possible because it's not fun to pry open those pins over and over again. A lot better. Yeah, but this gear is really quenching for some oil, some grease. Yeah, still some dirt on the wheels, residue. Either way though, that is so much better than what it was. And the good thing with the wheels is I can always come back and polish them later. I don't have to take them out of their assembly. Yeah, that's a lot better. And clean up the bottom plate. I'm actually just going to put some alcohol on the towel. Just give it a once over. Shouldn't be too bad. It's a little bit difficult trying to get to this because it has sort of like that curved piece, and therefore it makes it more kind of difficult to pry. Here's a good indication of what it will look like. So therefore, Yeah, there's a little bit of a gap there, kind of got to straighten that out. Get to it. It's important because I don't want this axle to kind of have like a disconnection to the gear attachments. Alright, on this lubricated axle, goes right there. That's very good. And going by my other models, you have the small hole go on the fireman side, so it should look like that. There we go. We're giving that some grease and oil on that axle. Over here, let me go ahead and clean this up a little bit. Counterweights, it is a neat thing. I'm wondering if they got rid of this on the late model, kind of because the HO line, they wanted to cut back on funding. Kind of like I think when the 1960 model came out, that's when model trains were slowly on their way out when it came to mainstream popularity. So this might have been kind of a last grasp before everything started becoming really more economical than anything. All right, I'm going to go ahead. There we go. So the wheels and axles are properly lubricated. Now the fun part, and that is to make sure that this bottom plate is kind of at least aligned. Okay, there's still a gap in the bottom, which means I still have to bend it over correctly, so I'll be right back. Now for the extra fun part, putting these pins back together. And I'm only going to do 2 of them since I haven't searched for the third one yet, but the very least I could do is at least get there. It's not as difficult to, yeah, it's pretty easy to put them back in there. I think, hoping that's actually going to be easier if I need to remove these again for next time I need to do some work on this model. I hope for the next many years I don't have to remagnetize the motor. I don't have to clean out the inside there. That's so much nicer. I'm going to push down on that one a bit more. And pretty good. So the first thing I want to do is start attaching it on the outer wheel. Very good. And we're going to go ahead and apply it to the other side as well. Now, another nice bonus of being able to do this on video is to not only look back and maybe learn from my mistakes, but also I could see it's a good idea to, in case I don't remember something, setting things back correctly the way they should be. So in this case, which rod goes on top of the other. I don't think it needs to be on there super tight. Yep, looking back, I can tell that the counterweight rod goes on top. So if I can get that straightened out, kind of get that aligned. Now what's interesting is that this has a plastic gear on the axle, but if you were to look at some of the other diesels that they had, albeit those are plastic body diesels, so I don't even know if they weigh as much as this thing. They have metal gears on the axle and the gear tower. There we go. Okay, I'm back. I had to make some adjustments, but now everything is rolling freely. Everything looks a lot better, looks a lot cleaner. Now, the only thing is that pin is missing, so I'm not going to put it back together until I do have that pin. So I believe the worst part's over, which is basically working on this thing. It's just a matter of reassembling the body with this pin. So everything looks really good up to this point, so I'm glad I made it this far without any real major mishaps except for the pin. And I'm not sure when. I could find it tonight, maybe another night, but I'll start the hunt, and hopefully it shouldn't be too long. What a lucky find. This was just like 3 feet in front of us. That's so amazing. Now I could complete assembly, not just of the mechanical part, but the entire thing. Take this flat piece here and there we go. There we go. And now let's put this body back on. Whole thing, all this evening. Got a little tab up front. There we go. Okay. Got that taken care of. And now to put the final 2 screws on this thing. Really wasn't that bad of a project. I'll get the other one too, see if I can get that on there without much of a fuss. then it looks so much shinier now. And there it is. That is the makings of our little switcher project. I gotta say, it looks so much better. Some things are only subtly better, but overall this thing is significantly cleaner. It's lubricated. It looks so much nicer now. Let's go ahead and test it out, and hopefully my labors have paid off.